KL is a man that stands for integrity. He's a man that works hard. He's a man that loves his wife, of course, and anybody that knows KL knows that. He's also a man that wants to try to leave a legacy behind after he's gone. I was a man that was as filthy as most men that are out here. And I was lying, as many men do. But really what I was a whore. I had lived for chasing women. I had lived for just being with women. And it didn't matter that I was in a relationship. I had been married previously, and I was cheating. Started dating my lovely wife, and I was cheating on her. Monogamy just wasn't in the picture for me, even though that's what I was selling the women that I was with. So I was that type of dude. Basically, it's finding God. And it's funny in saying it, but God was there the whole time. What he did was allowed me to get to a point of unhappiness where the only thing that I had left was to ask him, what now? And I think a lot of brothers don't reach that bottom. We hear it talked about often. We hear addicts say they have to reach a bottom to finally get to a point that they want to change. But when you're connected to sexually things, when you're connected to, as Christians say, a fleshly desire, that bottom could take years to get to, and sometimes never happen. Sometimes it takes some outstanding thing to happen. For me, it was simply being in a motel 200-something miles away from my girlfriend, and the young lady that was supposed to show up didn't. And I'm sitting there, she called and said, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, I'm not feeling well. And in my anger, I'm sitting there, and through my anger, my depression came through. It was like just nothing seems to work the way I want it, but that's what most spoiled children are, and that's what I was. I was a spoiled child. So in my anger, I actually just said, okay, Lord, what is it? And then the teleministry happened to be playing on the television. The reason why I say it's ironic, and I think the Lord put this in place, because I don't know too many players who's going to turn on teleministry when they're waiting for the woman to come that they're about to get with. And I sat there and listened to the teleministry for 2 hours, 4 different programs, half an hour each, for the 2 hours, and each pastor spoke on a different aspect of my life. My great-grandmother told me a long time ago, there are no coincidences in life. When the Lord wants things to happen, it's going to happen. So in listening to each of these pastors speak on something that was going on to my life, it only made my depression, my depressive state increase. Because now I'm thinking, why am I like this? And why am I unhappy when I have the master's degree, I have the Jeep, I have the pretty woman at home, I have the good career as an educator? Why am I torn with what should be the right thing to what's the wrong thing? And I basically just got on my knees in tears and said, okay, Lord, what is it that you want from me? What is it that I'm not seeing? Because obviously I'm doing something wrong. And sure enough, when I got up, my vision was clear enough to remind me to call a partner of mine who I had taught with, he was an accountability brother for me, a mentor when I taught, but he always reminded me he was a Christian. He always reminded me that he knew the Lord, always reminded me that he used to be a drug addict years ago, but the Lord saved him from all that. But because he shared his story with me, I called him and said, what do I do now? I think I heard the Lord's voice, what do I do? And he said, basically, now it's time for you to get up, learn about him, start to make some changes in your life, and I can show you how to do that. And that's what happened.